decision. What is the definition of the man having the final say? And is the wisdom of a female person respected? Is the man's final word always the wisest? Okay, this is an interesting question. The issue of the final say. I mean, this is something which, as the person who's written in said, this is Sister Fatima, she said that I've mentioned that the man has the final say. In the home circumstances, I mean, how do we organize the home? From a Western perspective, the man and the woman are equal. Nobody has the final say. So when a problem arises, which neither one agrees on, if they cannot find a compromise, then they go their separate ways. I mean, this is one of the big factors which have led to breakup of marriages, at a high scale, where more people are getting divorced than are actually getting married. You're getting this kind of circumstance developing in some places in the West, in the United States, elsewhere. So, I mean, what is this a result of? To a great degree, it is a result of a lack of structure within the family where final say has been assigned. Societies don't function having two people leading. No country has two leaders, meaning the final say is in the hands of two people. If you had this situation, the countries are not going to be able to function. So we recognize there's a president of Russia, there's a president of the United States, the prime minister of England, there's a president of France, and so on and so on and so forth. Algeria, Egypt, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Everybody has a leader. And the final decision is in that leader's hands. The family is only a small cell from the body of the society. The structure of the society is reflected, or should be reflected, in the structure of the family. So, within a family circumstance, Islam has put the final say, or the final word, in the man's hands, meaning that that final decision rests in his hands. It doesn't mean, though, that he exercises this power in an autocratic kind of way, where he doesn't take the opinions of anybody else. He just decides and goes ahead all the time. No. As a father, as the head of the family, as a husband, he should get the opinions of his wife or wives. If he has children, and they're old enough, mature enough, they can give their impressions or whatever, he should also get their opinions. What are their ideas? Not to say that whatever they say now he's going to do, but he should get their feedback, because perhaps they may have an idea which is, in fact, the best circumstance for the family. So, from the Islamic perspective, the man having the final say doesn't mean that he is just, an autocrat wielding this power without any kind of looking at any kind of opinions of others, etc. Shouldn't be like that. And of course, some people may do that, and of course it's wrong. In terms of the wisdom of the female, is there wisdom respected? Of course. Even the wisdom of the youths, it should be respected. But in the end, that decision still falls in the man's hand. The woman expresses herself, and he, according to Islam, is encouraged to take what she has to say, take it into account. If he sees that it is wiser or better or whatever, then he applies it. This is the proper way to do it. However, if he doesn't see that it's wiser, because who determines at this point what is the wisest decision? Very difficult. The functioning of a home, one would have to say, well, neither of the two could determine. If the person is going to insist that the woman has got wisdom here, the man maybe doesn't have. So how do we determine it? We'll have to get an outside party. Well, families cannot function where each and every decision that has to be made, an outside party has to come in to determine whether the wife's position is more wise than the husband or not. No, this is illogical. We're not going to, a family cannot function effectively like this. So, what it is that the husband is advised, is encouraged. And if he is consistently making the wrong decision, not listening to his wife and so then she complains to her parents or to her family, and they sit him down and try to give him some advice on the matter. This is where the religion is good advice, as the Prophet ﷺ said, ad-din nasiha. So, where the man is consistently functioning, illogically or not very well, then the family comes to his aid and tries to help put him in line. Take advice of your wife more, listen to what she has to say, so. So, the last part of that question, is the man's final word always the wisest? No, it's not. It's not always the wisest. But for the decision-making process, the decision has to be in his hands. If he's a wise individual, then when his wife's advice is wiser, he will take it. If he's not very wise, then he may not tend to take it. He may take his own decision for this reason or the other reason, but still, he is the one in the end who has to carry the responsibilities of these decisions. This is why, for example, in the case of Adam and Eve, from the Islamic perspective, when they ate from the tree in the garden, and we believe this to be true, not just a symbolic story, Adam carries the major responsibility because he was the head of the family. We don't put the blame on Eve, as other systems do. Christianity holds Eve to be the one. She was deceived by Satan, and she, as the wretched one, then deceived her husband, Adam. And because of that, the woman is looked at, as a very treacherous kind of whatever, from Christian theology, where, all kinds of statements have been made about her. And even the pain of childbirth and the menses, these are all punishments on her, supposedly, for this error on her part. From the Islamic perspective, no. We don't have anything about Eve being tricked by Satan and then passing it on to Adam, tricking Adam in turn. No. Adam carries the responsibility of them eating from the tree. He was the head of the family. And so there's no original sin in that sense that can be assigned to women. Furthermore, Allah taught them words of repentance, and they turned back to Allah in repentance after realizing their error, and Allah forgave them. So there furthermore is no original sin which is being handed down from generation to generation to generation, which became, according to Christian theology, the basis for God becoming a man and sacrificing himself to remove this accumulated sin from the shoulders of humankind, being unable to do anything or make any sacrifice which would remove it because this was too great. This is the story or the myth which was developed to explain why that was. Why did God become a man? But of course, from the Islamic perspective, God did not become a man. God is God, man is man. Jesus was a prophet of God. Men are the heads of families, and they have the final say in the decisions of the family. They should take advice from their wives and even from their children, but the final decision rests in their hands. If they're wise, they will also take from the wisdom of their wives. If they're unwise, then they may make arbitrary decisions. In such cases, then the wives can see this as a consistent pattern, as I said. They should refer it back to the family and encourage the individual to sit down and take good advice. Now, with that, dear viewers, I'd like to thank you for being with us in this segment of our program, In the Light of Islam, a program which is provided for you by this television, Sharjah Television, at the request, personal request, of Sheikh Dr. Sultan Al-Qasimi. And we thank him for giving us this opportunity to share this information with you, your viewers, and we hope that you would continue to benefit from this program and future episodes of the program. And we now bid you farewell. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.